What is up, toy freaks? Welcome to this episode of Micro Machine Spotlight Season 3. Now for this season, I've decided to change the format. So for Season 1 and Season 2, I basically made 1-minute videos featuring one vintage Micro Machine. I did that for a couple of reasons. The first was sort of a historical education type thing where, if you needed help identifying a Micro Machine or you wanted to look up, vintage Micro Machines, you'd be able to find those videos and maybe see a vehicle that, you like, or maybe you own one of those vehicles in real life or something like that. The other reason was, for a nostalgia pop. Those of us that collect Micro Machines, or maybe you had Micro Machines back in the day, you could sort of relive some of your Micro Machine memories in a 1-minute video. But for Season 3, I thought we'd change the format a little bit. What I'm gonna do is just make one video featuring about 15 Micro Machines from the mainline set and from various subsets. So here we go. I hope you guys enjoy. And I do appreciate all the support. You guys do a great job of watching the videos, commenting, liking, doing all those really cool things. You've made this trip for me very, very fun on YouTube with the Toy Freaks. So let's just get into some of these awesome Micro Machines. All right, so the first car I have for you today is one of my favorites in my collection. It's actually a recent pickup. I got this at the flea market for a couple bucks. It's a Mercedes 450 SL. It's done in gold with the black windows. I think it just really has a nice look. Represents the source material very, very well. We'll take a spin around the car. It just kind of feels right in your hand, looks nice rims. Got some black accents right here on the bottom. And with any other of these Micro Machines, they're nicely detailed, nicely painted. There are a couple of variants for this one. Mine has red tail lights. They did make one that had orange tail lights. But yeah, the Mercedes 450 SL in gold looks like $1 million. So the next car that I have is this really cool rally car. This is actually a Renault 5 Turbo. And one thing I will say about the vintage Micro Machines is they were not afraid to try different paint schemes and add little things to the car. They probably made this car 30 times and they all look different. They're all in different colors. But we'll take a swing around it. Number 17. My high school jersey number was 12, just so you guys know. But it's done in this really nice yellow and black. 17 is our race car number. It's done very big on the car. And we've got some additional detailing on the vehicle. You can see we've got some different colors here on the front fender, rear fender, on the door panels. Just a very nice looking car, highly detailed, painted tail lights, all those really fun things that you want in your Micro Machines. So if you know me and you know how I like to collect Micro Machines, you know I love service vehicles, police cars, fire cars, cable guy cars. This is a Dodson rescue truck done in orange with the yellow ladder accents. And yeah, I really enjoy having this in the collection. It really stands out, They don't really make a lot of the bright orange and yellows in the rescue trucks. Usually they're, red and white, black and white, something like that. But yeah, very cool. And something that I really enjoy about a lot of these old Micro Machines, especially the trucks, is they have a tow hitch on the back. You can see the detailing in there with the tools and everything. And I think that's something that the new Jazzwares line's really skimped out on. Because one of the cool things about the old Micro Machines is you can put like a boat hitch in there. There's a couple vehicle carriers, things like that. And the new ones didn't really do that. There were a couple that had the tow hitch, but they didn't really maximize it as much as I thought they could, carrying dune buggies and whatever. But yeah, it looks great with the tow hitch. Got our boat on there. I'm a big Hydro Thunder fan, so I love having all these really cool boats in the collection. But yeah, not a bad vehicle there. The Dodson rescue vehicle, nicely painted, nicely detailed. Very, very cool. Another thing that I really like about the old line is that they weren't afraid to do, prototypes and concept cars. This is actually a Nissan Mid4 concept done in sort of an aqua blue, aqua green sort of style. Looks great. I love the ribbed lines on the side here. They even though this car is a little bit smaller, They even painted Mid4 on the hood. So really, really cool. Let me try and get a little bit closer for you guys so you can see that. They did some silver accent in the windows. They didn't just make them black. Like, the old Micro Machines are so good. That's what the rear of the car looks like, the front of the car. Nice painted lights, nice detailing on the hood. But yeah, very, very cool car there. I don't really actually have a lot of Nissans in my collection, so I take pride in owning this one. Now, Micro Machines just didn't make cars and trucks. You know, they went above and beyond. They did a bunch of military vehicles and semi-trucks, as we see here. This is just a flatbed logging truck. And what's kind of interesting about these is that the cab will bend forward and the doors will open, and kind of gives you a little bit more playability, a lot of detail in there. Now, what's unfortunate is that nowadays when you see these semi-trucks, the post that holds the bed onto the truck is broken, and that's sort of a bummer. So this one's in really nice condition, and like I said, I'm happy to have it. Let me know if you had any semi-trucks as Micro Machines when you were a kid. Leave that in the comment section down below. So next up is this Ferrari 250 GTO. Very nice blue color with the white racing stripes, number 6. Again, they just don't make them in my jersey number, you know. My jersey number was 12. Very, very cool looking car. But I wanted to highlight this one because this car is actually a little bit smaller than some of the other Micro Machines, but the detailing is absolutely impeccable. So let's move in, take a look. We've got some nice paint here for like some ribbing on the front panel, number 6 there. You can see they actually got a door handle on there. We've got some nice paint down here on the back end. Nicely detailed tail lights and rear of the vehicle. And just the overall curvature of the car is really, really nice. 6 painted on the door. Everything about this car is just really, really cool. So yeah, let's take a peek at the top here. Get my big fingers out of the way. Yeah, look at that front end, the front grille there, very nice. These are actually molded in. You can see it's not just paint. Little screwdriver will go down in there. So yeah, for them to make a mold this small, even with the fuel cover, the fuel tank back there, very, very nice looking detailed vehicle. And yeah, it's great, man. And who doesn't love Ferrari? All right, so the last car that we have before we start getting into the specialty series cars, this is the 1947 Ford Rancho 4x4. Ranchos, they don't make those anymore. I don't think they've made those since like 1960 or something. But instead of this really cool, like almost eggshell white with a pale gray and a red racing stripe 4x4 painted on the hood, the checkered flag on the roof of the car, you can actually see into the bed of the truck. They've got the wheel wells in there. And overall, just a really, really cool vehicle. And I don't really see a lot of Ford Ranchos out there, so I'm not really sure how many of these they actually made. But yeah, I think we had to put this vehicle in season 3. So check this out. This is basically just a 1970 styles van on 4x4 tires. Now these 4x4 tires are a little bit smaller and they're hard. They're not rubberized like the monster trucks. Monster trucks are bigger and they have, you know, the rubberized tires. But what I really like about these is these have a little bit of suspension to them, you know. So really cool for playability there if you're outside playing in the gravel or the dirt. But I don't know if this thing's gonna stay on the turntable as we look around it. Very radical 1980s paint scheme, right? With the pink and the green and the little, I don't know what you call that, speckled white and black. Again, it has a tow hitch, which is really nice. The back of the van looks really cool. Front of the van looks nice. But yeah, if you ever see these out there, those are Micro Machines, and they are Micro Machine 4x4s. So one of the most adored lines of the Micro Machine lines, not the mainline cars, more of a subset or specialty type set, are the Micro Machine Insiders. Collectors nowadays, you know, they had these when they were kids and they really just want them back because they're very, very cool. Now, the gimmick with Insiders is that there is actually another car inside of this Ford 1920s Woody. And all you have to do to get that car is to open it like so. And there's going to be another car in there. Look at that. So very, very cool. Micro Machine Insiders. I think everybody remembers these, and people that are new to collecting, these are sort of the ones that they remember, so the ones they kind of want to get back in their collections first. But they made these in a variety of different vehicles. They did a military ones like that. And these little cars, man, these little bad boys can be very, very expensive. But anyway, who remembers Micro Machine Insiders? Leave a comment down below. So this is a Lamborghini Countach, my favorite car of all time. I'm so glad they made this in Lego form like a couple years ago. What's interesting about this one, and most people will remember these, but they don't really remember the name. The vehicles that have doors and trunks and hoods that open up, these are the Micro Machine Deluxe Series cars. And what I think is really cool about these cars is that they're the exact same size as the mainline cars. So for them to get all these little parts and pieces and hinges inside of the regular sized vehicle is amazing. So I will open this up and we will take a look at what is inside, as you will be able to see the engine and what's going on in the trunk. There we go. I had to use my little pick as a helper. So let's get in here. You can see in the back of the Lamborghini, there's the engine compartment, which is really, really nice. You got those Lambo doors that open vertically. And in the trunk section there, I think that's someone's luggage. But anyway, yeah, these Deluxe Series car, out of all the Micro Machines, I think the Deluxe are my personal favorite. Now here's a subline that I don't think a lot of people remember. I sure as heck didn't remember them when I started collecting Micro Machines because I never owned them. But this is a Porsche 959, done in this really nice like purple and teal. You know, it says 959 on the visor there, kind of a black brawl almost on the car. But if you turn this car over, you can see it's just a little bit different. This is actually a snap back. Now, what you're supposed to do is pull this back, whoop, and then the car goes forward. A lot of the springs and stuff in there go bad, and the tires actually go bad and they break off. So it's very heavy. So you may think that this car is not a Micro Machine. You may think it's something else, but they actually are. And they made a bunch of different Micro Machine snapback vehicles. You know, they made like Quattros and everything. So if you see these cars out there, they are a little heavy, but they will say Micro Machine on the bottom. So very cool snapbacks. I have a very few amount of these. I've got like 5 or 6 of these. So this subline is called Private Eyes. They are easily identifiable because there is a looking glass on the top of every one of these cars. Now this is the City Pound dog catcher, and like I said, I love the city vehicles, the service vehicles, that kind of thing. I think they're kind of neat, and you don't get them, you know, a lot. But one thing that sort of is interesting about these vehicles, as the name would suggest, we've got private eyes, is that we're supposed to look through this looking glass on the top, and there's going to be a scene in there of some kind. Maybe it's like some kids jumping around in the back while mom and dad are driving. This one actually has a dog catcher in there, and then the whole back area is filled with dogs. But I found sort of the best way to try to show these off is if you look on the bottom of the vehicle, see if we can get some more light to filter through there. Maybe you can kind of see right in here that the light comes in this way while you're looking on the other side, and will provide you with a scene. Now this little beauty here is a 1982 Lincoln limousine in a very beautiful purple with the blue windows. Very nice detailing on the back. But what's that? You don't think this is a limousine? Looks like a regular 4-door sedan. Well, this is actually a Micro Machines Impostor. These vehicles have like a spring-loaded system in there, and they slide out. And there we go. There's our limo. How about that? I told you it was a limousine. Did you guys not believe me? And you can kind of look in the car and see the seating and all those nice little details that you expect from vintage Micro Machines. But yeah, to get this back together, you just kind of squeeze in these doors and then push in the bottom, and it will go back together like so. And there you go. Now you got your Lincoln 4-door sedan. That is an Impostor, and it turns into a limo. All right, so I thought we'd end the day with a couple military vehicles. Now, military vehicles were a huge part of the Micro Machines line. They made a ton of them, ton of different colors, ton of different vehicles. And this is the M4A3 Sherman tank. Now, what I do want to mention about tanks and planes is usually when you find them, they're broken. So to find one that has, a nice turret on it is actually quite lucky. You can see it says USA, it's got the stars on there, it's done in the green and brown camo. Some nice detailing on the front. Some nice detailing on the back. And it's just a very, very cool vehicle. I don't really actually own that many tanks because when I see them out there, like I said, they're usually broken. So I kind of pass on them. Although I should probably buy them because you can take the treads off, you can take the wheels off and swap those out. Maybe I could use them for something else, but anyway, very cool there. And then the last military little plane we have here, I wanted to throw a plane in here. This is, this is the MiG-29, done in a very nice sort of gunmetal gray with the blue canopy. Now, some Micro Machines, the older Micro Machines especially, had fixed wheels on the bottom, and that's okay. But as they started to move along with the lines, they wanted to go with more realistic playability. So as we look at the bottom of this aircraft, we'll notice that the landing gear is actually movable. We can take the front landing gear, fold that down, the rear landing gear, we can fold that down, and now we're sort of, in flight mode, which is really nice. And this is actually a bigger plane. You can see how it scales with the tank. But yeah, to end it on some military. Do you guys have military Micro Machines? Make sure that you leave a comment down below. There it is, Toy Freaks. Micro Machine Spotlight Season 3 is in the books. Did you like this format better? Make sure you leave a comment down below and let me know. You guys know I love these old vintage Micro Machines. They are so awesome. What are some of your favorite Micro Machines? Also leave a comment down below. Thumbs up if you think that the vintage Micro Machines are better than the Jazzware lines. So anyway, guys, that is going to do it. Thank you for stopping by the Toy Freaks.